Hey everyone, quick Saturday update. It is official. Ricky Pearsall has been activated off the NFI. He is now a member of the 53-man roster for the 49ers and will play on Sunday versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So it is done. Also, a few other moves that happened. Matthew Wright, kicker, has been placed on IR, so he will not kick tomorrow. The 49ers will have their third kicker in 3 weeks. It will be Anders Carlson, former Green Bay Packer kicker who lost the job this season, but did a decent job in warmups and practices as much as we know because the 49ers have brought him in. He was in the tryouts with Matthew Wright. He actually did not win the job, Matthew Wright did. And now that Matthew Wright is going on injured reserve, separated his shoulder, also dealing with back injuries from that tackle he made. I mean, the kickoff coverage needs to be better because that is why Jake Moody is out for a few weeks. He is not on IR. I did see him walking around, not in a boot, no brace, nothing. So Kyle Shanahan already said not going to be back for Dallas week, but I think Jake Moody will be back after the bye. I think quite a few more players will be back after the bye as well. So Anders Carlson again, kicking on Sunday. Um, 3 kickers in 3 weeks. It's crazy. Someone asked me if that's ever happened before. I don't know. I'll have to ask Josh Dubow. He is the guy who knows historically everything that's happened. So two guys have been brought up or elevated from the practice squad. That is safety Jalen Mahoney, and that is Anders Carlson. So those two guys. Matthew Wright goes on IR, and Ricky Pearsall, his NFL debut happening on Sunday. Like I said a few days ago, he has 27 friends and family coming to the game. So I had a feeling he was going to play. With Deebo Samuel being a little bit limited or a little bit questionable with his wrist, he does not have an injury designation at all. But just in case it gets exacerbated in the game, because games are different than practice, practice he was fine. The game could be where he maybe exacerbates the injury. Also, Juwan Jennings out with a hip injury. So he is out for the game, questionable um, were I can't even remember now. Oh, Kevin Givens. Here we go. Kevin Givens, defensive tackle. He was dealing with a groin injury, and then Darrell Luter dealing with a pelvis injury. So both those two players questionable to play. They could. Um, Jalen Mahoney has been elevated, I think, because Malik Mustafa was dealing with that low ankle sprain. He does not have any injury designation, but just in case anything happens with him in the game where it starts to feel bad or something, if he re-injures it, then Jalen Mahoney will take over. So, or it could be George Odom, but Jalen Mahoney has, you know, been elevated a couple times, has shown them in practice that he can handle it. So he is there just kind of as a backup. Um, Outside of that, no huge updates at all. We'll find out inactives 90 minutes before kickoff, but I'm really excited for Ricky Pearsall and his NFL debut because I think as a first round pick, the expectations are so huge to want to get out there and affect the game immediately. And I thought he would have. I think if he was healthier through training camp, and obviously if the shooting incident didn't happen on August 31st, he would have been out there already. And I do think I posted some videos of him running routes, and he is so smooth coming out of his breaks. I think he can really make a difference getting open against man coverage, which is what the Kansas City Chiefs do regularly. So in man coverage, I think it's just difficult for guys to get open, more difficult than in zone coverage, obviously. And I think Kyle Shannon's offense is geared towards exploiting zone coverage. So when they face man, it's a little bit different situation. Without Christian McCaffrey, little different situation. The checkdowns are not quite much there as they are when Christian McCaffrey is there. And I think the defenses play the 49ers differently without Christian McCaffrey. He's another guy who I think could make his debut for the 2024 season after the bye. And I think that's Tampa Bay. So Chiefs come to visit, Dallas Cowboys come to visit. Then it is a bye week off. Guys can recover, recoup, and then Tampa Bay. So looking ahead to that, Christian McCaffrey could come back. Jake Moody could come back. Maybe Yeturgos Matos comes back. I'm not sure where Talanoa Hufanga's status is with his wrist because I believe he had a procedure, but I'm not quite sure. So a lot of guys potentially could come back after the bye. So that's a good thing to look forward to. So with that said, 49ers really need to get a victory on Sunday to propel them into this bye week and keep the momentum going. I mean, they got some in Seattle with the win against the Seahawks, but getting over the mental hurdle of the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, is really important. I think the Dallas Cowboys are definitely beatable. I mean, you look 47-9 last week against the Lions. I mean, I think the Cowboys will always come in and play hard, but they have shown that they have definite weaknesses. And I think that the 49ers can take advantage of that. So, heading into Sunday, I will be on the field. Let me know whether you would like me to video player entrances closer to the tunnel or the opposite side where they all go and take a knee at the end. Fred Warner usually runs out. Leave that there at the bottom in the comments, and I will, whichever one is more popular, I'll film that. I'll post it on here and on Instagram, on Facebook. Um, I only get the bump box walkouts when it is an away game. So the player tunnel, normally I don't get in there, but we'll see what happens. All right. Happy Saturday, everyone. And I'll be talking to you Sunday. And hopefully it is a good outcome Sunday afternoon.